Namaste guys, Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Thursday evening here in Denver, Colorado. It is almost. Got you. It's actually 5:40 p.m. Mountain Time. We're jumping on for a daily dose of growth, challenges designed to grow your soul and help you become a better person. I had to jump on earlier tonight. We usually do this at 6 o'clock p.m., the challenge review, because Namaste. Because I wasn't thinking clearly enough when I scheduled the healing for this evening. So we're doing our daily dose 20 minutes early. Suresh, Namaste. So for those of you logging on for the first time, we do these challenges. Karen, Namaste. We do these challenges every single day, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we do our challenge review at roughly 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time of what's your feedback? This was the challenge. It's a 15-minute challenge in general, and you have 10 hours to do it. James, Namaste. And so seeing where you guys are at. Challenge 38 was today, and it was an interesting challenge. It's one I've been meditating on myself. People have asked me about it today, how I relate it to my own life. And the challenge was thinking of a thing, not from the distant past, not even from the near past, but right now. If you don't take care of this, if you don't move this part of your life forward, whether it's physical, emotional, relationship, if it's connected to family, if it's connected to some area in your life, that if you don't move this area forward in 3 years, 10 years, at the end of your life, you're going to have an extreme amount of regret on. So I want to see what your feedback was. So as we jump on the challenge review in the evening, we say, I did it, I didn't do it, we did it, we didn't do it. What is your feedback from tonight? Now I know our typical peeps aren't on because I'm doing it earlier. So whoever's on, feel free to throw it out there, and then we'll do our best to give some higher insights, some higher teachings connected to this particular challenge, challenge number 38. The goal is to do about 60 challenges. So we have what? 22, 22 more challenges. So Suresh says, Namaste, did it and loved it. Great challenge, brings lots of awareness. Wish I'd done this a long time ago. Excellent. Very, very good feedback, Suresh. I love it. And when we talk about our awareness, we talk about as the challenge is being assigned in the morning at 8 o'clock a.m., what's your experience? What's your awareness? What's your this brings up a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, resistance. Something comes up as we're giving the challenge out. Number 2, didn't do it. Thank you, Ivani, for taking responsibility for your challenge. Number 2, what awareness comes up for you as you're doing the challenge? Because sometimes our challenges are connected to the physical body, they're connected to your emotional body, they're connected to your mental body, connected to your spiritual body. Even we have challenges that are connected to your finances to help you become more prosperous. So as you're doing the challenge, what awareness do you get? And then as you're done with the challenge, what awareness did you get? So Karen says, did it, loved it as well. That a girl. Very, very good. What we have found out that 98.7% of the time, at the end of every single challenge, people are grateful and happy that they did the challenge. They're grateful and happy they did the challenge, which is awesome, right? Maybe some resistance in the beginning, maybe a lot of resistance in the middle, but at the end, overcoming that resistance, doing the challenge, you're like, wow, I'm super grateful. So, Suresh says, there are a few things I must do, but this is most important to me. If I don't become as great pranic healer, I will regret it greatly in the future. I must continue to practice and study the teachings consistently. I must prioritize, schedule, and execute better, not allow distractions to keep me from achieving my goal. Excellent awareness. So Suresh is saying, right now, in this moment of my life, I want to become a healer. I want to become a full-time healer. I want to be able to produce miraculous results for the clients and patients who see me with physical ailments, emotional ailments, financial ailments, mental ailments, spiritual ailments. I want to be there for them as part of my dharma, as part of my purpose, right? Which is amazing. So he's saying, if I don't start doing healings now, if I don't start taking the higher classes now, if I don't start doing my meditation practices now, 3 years will go by, 5 years will go by, 10 years will go by, 20 years will go by, and he'll have regret. Can't believe it. Why didn't I start earlier? There's a Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is right now, right? Is right now. So all the things that have brought you up to this point in your life, the guilt, the shame, the regret, the mistakes, the goof-ups, the weaknesses, the negative tendencies, it's all in the past. It's all in the past. What are you going to do right now from this very moment, moving yourself forward? Elizabeth, namaste, which is a great question. That was the other part of tonight's assignment, of moving yourself in the direction so you don't have regret. So you have awareness, okay, if I don't take care of this now, I'm going to have regret. What's one action, not 75, what's one action I can take right now to move that part of my life forward so I can look back in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years and not have any regret? I said that, I think, all in one breath. I realize I don't breathe a lot when I talk. Maybe that's why I'm always talking so fast. What else? What other insights? What other awareness? What other nuggets of truth? Other people missed that we were doing the stream later this evening, so they're going to log on at 6 and go, where is he? I'm going to have to watch the replay. What was your awareness? Anyone else want to share? This is what I learned during, or this is what I learned before, during, and after. Before, during, and after. Why do we have you articulate and explain your awareness during your challenge or throughout the challenge? So you can concretize or step down the lesson and make it more practical and concrete in your day-to-day life, right? That's why I'm having you explain it, articulate it, write it out. Either write it out on your challenge journal, type it in here, because it's helping you have greater and greater and greater and greater awareness of what insight you got of doing what you did. Make sense? So I'm going to continue going. So there was several studies done, actually, of people that were in hospice. Hospice is where someone has a terminal disease or terminal illness and they have about 2 weeks left to live by the doctor's standards and protocols. So when that person is getting close to leaving their physical body, they'll bring them into hospice. So they typically will stay at home. They'll typically have a hospice nurse come in and take care of that person. And so one of the big questions that they ask many people over, I think a 10, 20-year period, a big time frame, they ask them, what is something that is most on your mind as you're getting ready to leave your body, as you're getting ready to pass? And obviously, you can probably get some pretty good, honest answers from people that are knocking at death's door. True or not true, right? There's not going to be a lot of holding back. It's like, I'm going to die in the next week or two, and that's it. Like, the veils go away, the facades go away, the walls crumble to the ground, and you're like as raw, as vulnerable, as open as you possibly can be. And they found out that the biggest challenge that people had in their lives, whether they were a young person who is dying of a terminal disease or an elderly person dying of a terminal disease, was regret. This is a key point, not regret from things that they did, but regret from things they did not do. So Suresh is one of the people that gave feedback for tonight. He would regret not being a full-time pranic healer that would produce miraculous results in the lives of his clients and patients. He has regret, right? 10 years goes by and he goes, for the past 10 years I could have done healings on people. 20 years goes by, for the past 20 years I could have done healings on people, right? He could have developed certain abilities, clairvoyant faculties, clairsentient faculties, clairaudient faculties, but because he was living from fear, living from guilt, living from unworthiness, living from shame, living from whatever negative programming, calcified ideas, and preconceived ideas about himself and about others, he never realizes his potential, so he never takes a risk, right? So he ends up regretting the thing that he did not do. So that was the point of today's challenge number 38, was to get you to come to a realization of, wow, there's things in my life that I would have regret around if I did not take advantage of. I mean, you can think about how many different avenues in our lives that we feel the urge, the call to like move forward on. Actually, one of my clients said today, she goes, you probably don't have anything that you really regret having not done. And looking back on my life, I'll say I've done several things that I regret doing, right? But I don't have a lot of regrets of things I didn't do, right? Because I've wanted to do many things and I've done a lot of those things. Now most of my work as a professional energy healer and a meditation teacher is going within, right? Oops. Ooh, did I hit the wrong button? Is going within. So rather than regretting about running around the world and doing things in the physical world, more of my focus is going within and becoming a better person. So one of the master pranic healers, I think this was about maybe 3 years ago, almost, it might have been even 4 years ago at one of the Arhatic Yoga retreats. And I was sitting with him at the table and we were having dinner, and I asked him the question. I said, you've been doing this work for over 20 years, right? You've been doing healing work. You've been teaching people how to heal. You've been doing meditation work, teaching people how to meditate. You're a master. You're one of the most advanced practitioners in the world within this school. What would you have done differently if you could start over again, right? And this is him already doing it for over 20 years. I said, what would you do differently? And he put down his fork. He made intense but loving eye contact with me, had a smile on his face, and he says, I would have practiced more. I would have practiced more. I was like, this is a master. This is a person who's done hundreds of thousands of healings, who've taught tens of thousands of people over the course of his life around the world, do very, very high spiritual level practices. And his insight after 20 plus years is, I would have practiced more. Now, was it a regret? Was it something he was curled up in a ball every night crying and sobbing and sweating? No. But he's just making the realization of, I would have practiced more. Knowing what I know now about this system, about this school, about Grandmaster Chola Koksui's teachings, blessings, and methodologies, I should have practiced more because my ability to serve and help humanity would have gone up exponentially over the course of his life. Pretty amazing, right? So I'm not saying you have to become a master pranic healer. I'm not saying you have to become a professional healer. I'm not saying you have to become a meditation teacher. I'm saying look at your life and what are the things in your life that you want to go for? Right? What are the things that you want to go for? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to start a relationship? Do you want to end a business? Do you want to end a relationship? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to create an online business? Do you want to create a brick and mortar business? Do you want to go from one career to another career? Do you want to go back to school to get more educated, to do something you're more inspired by? Do you want to start a nonprofit or an NGO to alleviate the suffering of some community of people? What is it that you want to do? How do you want to add value into the world? And if you don't do it, Dylan, I'm going to say, if you don't do it, you're going to have regret. What's up? If you don't do it, you're going to have regret. True or not true? And as I understand it, from reading the articles and the feedback from people that were at death's door, the regret was almost unbearable. The regret was almost unbearable for these people. So that's why, quite often, when people say, hey, Christian, you want to do this? You want to do that? A lot of the times I'll say yes. There's actually a whole school of thought. And there's a movie with Jim Carrey called Yes Man, that he has to say yes to everything. Tina, I'm going to say, he has to say yes to everything. But isn't it interesting that methodology, and from that movie, if we say yes and yes and yes and yes and yes, that gives us many, many experiences, right? It gives us many lessons. It gives us lots and lots of feedback. Now, am I saying you say yes to everything without discernment? No, right? But if somebody offers you something, like an opportunity that you feel would benefit you in some way, shape, or form, but you're having fear from a program level, not fear from a real fear, but fear from a program level, you're going to have regret. Tina says, did I miss the memo? You were on before 7. Yes, you did. I actually made the announcement a couple hours ago because I have a healing client at 6 my time. So I'm jumping on. I'm so glad that you guys did it. Please put your feedback in. Please put your feedback in. And then when I sign off, you can rewatch the video, get whatever nuggets you can get out of the video. A lot of us weren't on tonight. Understandable, because it was 20 minutes early. Ain't no thing but a chicken weighing on a string. But I hope that makes sense about today's challenge number 38. Not living with regret and taking action in the direction of not living with regret. Right? Never mind the past. The past is the past. Things are over. They're done with. You can't do anything about it. It's over. Whatever mistakes you made, it's over. Whatever things you wish you did and you didn't do, it's over. Whatever things that you did do and wish you didn't do, it's over. It's over. The past is the past is the past is the past is the past. Cut. What is the action plan? What's the action plan? Take care of the physical body. Exercise daily, eat healthy, hydrate, sleep well. Bam. That's it. All that in a bag of chips. Lori, namaste. So, love you guys very, very much. For those of you jumping on right now, please give your feedback. I did it. I didn't do it. We did it. We didn't do it. And then post your awareness before, during, and after the challenge. I will read it. I promise. And now I have to go and take care of a client. Much love to each and every one of you. For those of you who need healing yourselves, which we all do, go to ChristianRLong.com, sign up for a consultation, and or sign up for a healing directly, and allow me to help transform your life and move you forward to your ultimate destination. This is Christian Long, life enhancement consultant, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye.